Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Ashley if you are new, and I wanted to do an update video for you guys for a lot of different reasons. It has been a long time since I've been on here, and actually the last video that I did was in fact an update video. It's been hard for me to do this video because and I've started it like 1,000 times and my hair is like winter static and it's driving me up the wall. Like, I hate it. I hate that feeling of it on your neck, and it's doing it, and I hate it. So if you see me like messing with it, that's why. But anyways, the last video I did for you guys was an update video. So it's been hard for me to do another video for several different reasons. I've been on here and started to vlog like 1,000 times and just scrapped the footage. And it's because I have felt like I've been in a really negative headspace, and because of that, I didn't want to bring that negativity to the table, to the screen, to your computer, to your phone, whatever, into your home. Like, that's not what I'm about, okay? And because of that, like, I just haven't felt, see, it's just driving me insane. I haven't felt like I can properly do this video and really explain myself well. So that's why it's taken me so long. Also, there's just been so much going on that I feel like I can't process my thoughts very well because of so much. Like, I have updated the video, done an update video, and then that day and the next day so much else happened. I didn't want to get back on here and say something else and spew a bunch of other crap that was, again, negative. So I'm going to do a really quick overview of everything that's happened this year. That's going to be repetitive for some of you, so if you're new and it feels like I'm kind of quickly glossing over like huge events in my life and it feels like I'm emotionless and I'm just kind of mentioning things in passing that are like big things and you're like, wait a minute, what? You can go watch the other videos where I explain those in depth and I tell you my feelings and how I'm coping and all of the things. But I don't want to be like extremely repetitive for people who watch all the time and then be like, okay, we've seen this before, right? But I've got so much to update you on. I don't remember the things I've told you versus the things I haven't. And I'm just going to tell you all of it, okay? All right, buckle up, get ready, here we go. So in December of last year, we found out that we were pregnant. It was like a complete surprise baby. Like, we were not trying to get pregnant. We were actually trying not to get pregnant. But because I had had some surgical procedures and some not big health issues, so I don't want to say health issues, but a couple of smaller health scares that I did tell you guys about during that pregnancy with Jensen. I had to have some procedures done after he was born, and because of that, I couldn't get the birth control that I usually get, which is an IUD. And so because of that, I couldn't do birth control pills because of breastfeeding. And, you know, all contraceptives are not exactly 100%, okay? So for whatever reason, we were supposed to get pregnant and we got pregnant. I was shocked. I was like, it was the only pregnancy I've ever had where I was kind of upset about it at first. I was like, it's not that I was upset, but I was kind of panicking about it because, you know, Jensen at that time was like 8 months old, and like, what the heck? And he doesn't sleep. And so I was like, he still doesn't sleep. And so anyway, it was like really rough and I was like nervous about it. But in January of that year, I said I was going to gloss over it quickly, like failure. In January of this year, we lost the baby, which was, we did it happened in it could never happen in a non-traumatic way, but the way it happened, the way the hospital reacted, the way the hospital kind of treated me, the medical treatment I received, it made it like extremely traumatic, and awful and horrible, and it's bad. So we were coping with that, figuring that out, and then a week later we got COVID. It started with me, and then it filtered all the way down the train, and the boys were not very sick with it. It was just mild symptoms, but nobody was feeling good. Everybody was feeling icky, and it took me and Joshua a while to get over it. Like, we had like some of the weird symptoms, like burning headaches, like burning sinuses where you feel like it's acid and you can't like your whole face is on fire. Like, that was me. I had like horrible burning headaches. It caused a lot of migraines, like, all the time. And if you have chronic migraines, or if you have ever experienced migraines regularly or consistently in any way, then you know that trying to operate with a migraine is almost impossible. And I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4 children, and one of them is a baby. So there was no like laying down and dealing with that. I had to just keep going and continue on. Then Joshua got it. He was negative for a long time, and then he got it, and he is still like going through, like, he can't taste certain foods. Like, it's not that he can't taste them, it's that like it tastes gross. Like, it tastes like grease. Like, he's eating and it tastes like grease and he can't eat. So he's dealing with that. So some odd symptoms that are still lingering on for him, not for me. Well, I'm still having actual headaches from it, but not migraines, but headaches. But anyways, and so all of these things happen. We got COVID. It's not easy being a big family and everybody getting sick. Because they got COVID, the boys kind of got... it had residual effects. Like, they got ear infections afterwards because of all the drainage and all of the things. And Jensen got an ear infection. Well, when Jensen got an ear infection, I took them all to the doctor. They got antibiotics for it. Everybody had an ear infection except for Killian. We got the antibiotics. Everybody got well except for Jensen. He had a reaction to the antibiotics, not allergic reaction per se, but like, he's just hyper-reactive to that particular antibiotic. So he was like extreme diarrhea, vomiting, and like whelps on his butt. Like, his behind was covered in whelps. Nothing I could do helped. No kind of topical cream whatsoever could help. No kind of bath, no kind of nothing. Like, it was just straight acid burning his skin, and it was horrible. He was crying and screaming with his stomach hurting. He was cramping really bad. His stomach was just making all kinds of noises all the time. He was up literally all night. Like, he wouldn't lay down for more than 15 minutes. I literally just sat up all night for over a week, almost 2 weeks, like, sat up with him during the night. Like, I did not sleep at all. I would sleep in like snippets while I was holding him and doze off, and that was it. That's all the sleep I got for a long period of time. I was dying like a zombie. We were trapped inside of the house for a little over a month. Only doctor's visits is the only place that we went because we were all sick, right? And so somebody is sick. And so Joshua did get to go to work during that time when he tested negative, but other than that, like, you know, and he had to be on like secluded jobs and things like that. So it kind of limited the job opportunities he was able to have, because even though he was negative, like, his family was still sick, all of the things. You know how it goes. So we were like inside, and I can tell you, like, the walls are closing in. Jensen, then we switched the antibiotic. He got a shot because the ear infection had improved, but it hadn't gone away. So he got a shot. That didn't work. So he started screaming, running really high fever, screaming all through the night. I took him back to the doctor. The ear infection was back worse than it was before. So we started a different oral antibiotic and a different antibiotic shot. After that oral antibiotic, he seemed to be doing better. However, he started fussing and getting a little bit fussier. I could tell something was going on. Our doctor referred us to an ENT for tubes, and in fact, like, when we took him to the doctor, he had like heavy fluid on his ear. So it wasn't infected yet, but it was getting there, and it was heavy fluid. So he just can't get rid of it, cannot. And that happened with Killian too. So I mean, we know how this goes. We've been here before. So he is scheduled for tube surgery, which I don't know if you feel this way, but anytime my child is going to be put to sleep, I don't care if it's for 2 seconds or 2 hours, it's terrifying to me. I do not like it, especially when they're young, especially when they're little. I don't care how small the procedure is. I don't care how easy it is for the doctors. I don't care if they do 2,000 of them a day. It's terrifying to me. It's stressful. It's worrisome. I do not like my child being put to sleep. It's scary. That has to happen. So it just is what it is. So he's scheduled for that. Today is Tuesday. He's scheduled for that on Thursday. So then, you know, all of these things have been happening health-wise with all of our family. Okay, well, during all of this time, way back in November, let's go back into November. Back in November, we were told by our landlord, we have lived here almost 5 years. August will be 5 years. We were told by our landlord that, he was thinking about selling the house, which we were like, okay, of course you are, because the housing market is crazy right now. It's a seller's market. Like, he already owns another house. He's thinking about selling this one. We totally get it, right? Like, that's totally understandable. No hard feelings whatsoever. We're a big family. We may even have other children, another child, whatever. And so who even knows that, house is getting like smaller and smaller and smaller as the time goes by. We're growing out of it. We've grown out of it for a while. We just haven't moved and made the move. So we're like, okay, this is the time to make the move. So, with that being said, we decided that it's fine, like, this is no big deal. He told us late spring, early summer is when he was going to put it on the market, and asked us if we would, if we could move out by then. And we were like, oh yeah, of course, late spring, early summer. My husband is an independent contractor for United Van Lines. It's a company under United Van Lines. It's Armstrong Relocation. And because of that, this is like the extreme slow season. The winter is famine, and the spring and summer are your like fatty, feasty months. Like, that's just the way it is. It's feast or famine. That's that business. And it's a lot of businesses, right? And so because of that, we were like, late spring, early summer is perfection. We'll have plenty of time to get the money to move, because the housing market is crazy, but the rental market is also crazy. Like, we're going to pay double what we pay now for an equivalent, or just a little bit bigger. It'll be over double what we're paying now. And so because of that, you have to have that for a deposit and that for your first month's rent. And so it's going to be like an astronomical amount to move. And that's just how it is. It's fine. Plus your utilities getting switched over, and your moving costs, and your blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be a lot of money. Okay, that's fine. Late spring, early summer is perfect for that, because that means that we can do this no problem, right? So anyways, my camera's about to shut off. Hold on. Okay, now it should let me film now. My storage was full. So, and now I'm crooked again. So if that's bothering you, I'm really sorry. But anyways, so I don't even remember where I was at. But it's going to cost a lot of money. This is the feast or famine. This is the famine. It's fine. That'll give us plenty of time to do all of the things. So we were like, cool. Okay, well then, he didn't mention it in December. He said it may not even happen. We've been thinking about it for a long time, and we've changed our mind 20 times, so it may not ever even happen. So December, didn't say anything. January, didn't say anything. Well, February, I was like, you probably need to mention it just to kind of see where his head is at, so we can be on the same page. And Joshua was like, yeah, sure. So that's what he did. He mentioned it, and he was like, oh, actually, yeah, we've been really thinking about selling. We probably will. And Joshua was like, well, we'll be ready to move in late April, early May. And he was like, that's great. That should be perfect. I'll let you know if we really decided to sell and all of that. I'll let you know if we decide for sure. And he was like, cool. So then he gets a text message late that night. He was like, we are in fact going to sell. A realtor will be calling you tomorrow. Wait, what? That was February the 15th. Okay, this is not late spring, early summer. This isn't early spring, late spring. This is just February, and what the heck? And so then the realtor called us and said that she would be there in 2 days to take measurements of our house, and she would be there in 1 week to take picture perfect pictures of our house. And then she would have an open house the next week, and we would have to be out of the house. And anytime that she wants to show the house, we have to get out. We have to be gone for the day, or how many ever hours that she needs it. And she'll be doing open houses every weekend, and we have to be gone. Okay, but I am a stay-at-home mom, and Joshua's vehicle, his transmission is completely done. Like, it has to be completely rebuilt. So we've been waiting until the springtime in the good season to get that transmission rebuilt, because it's going to cost about $2,000. It's fine. It's just, we gotta wait for that. You know what I mean? And so now we have moving costs of about $4,000, and then the $2,000 of a transmission to have another vehicle. So he's been stealing my vehicle, which means I don't have one, and I work from home, and I homeschool. So how are we just going to up and leave and get out every 2 seconds? And hello, I have like 1,000 kids. How is my home ever going to be picture perfect and constantly ready to get up and get out for someone to come and look at it? How is that going to work? So we started to panic, and it's been a thing. So that's not really resolved. We kind of got the dates pushed back just a little bit because I let them know, like, I can't have a picture perfect house in, it was actually like 5 days, and I was like, that can't happen. Like, I've got a lot of orders that I'm putting out right now. At the time, I was doing 4 journals at once, and I was like, I can't really do this and have a picture perfect home and do this. Like, I can't do what you're asking me to do, so I'm gonna need some more time. That was fine. They were cooperative, and it's not that they're not nice people or good people or whatever. It's just that I don't think that they understand like the situation, and I don't think that they understand like how crazy this is. Like, we were expecting one timeline, and now it's way different than we ever could have expected. And you kind of flipped this on us in less than 24 hours. So it's a lot to process and a lot to deal with, and we're struggling. Like, I don't know how this is going to work. I really don't. I have absolutely no clue how this is going to work. Like, not at all. We can't just get up and leave. Like, we don't have anywhere to go. My parents, who are the closest to us, like, they live an hour away, and we can't just like pack up and just leave and say, hey, we're coming to your house for forever. Like, that's not the way it works in our family. Like, it's just not it. Like, that's not, they might be busy, or they might be doing things. My mom is in school. She might be in class. She goes to school online. Like, it just can't work. Not to mention school. Like, what if we're in the middle of school and I'm like, okay, kids, we got to go. Like, what? Anyway, so that's a lot of stress balled up. Then a few days later, Joshua started having issues with an AFib episode, because he was diagnosed with AFib when he was 21, and he's had a lot of issues with his heart. He's had a few different AFib episodes, 2 of them landing him in ICU at the hospital, and one, almost 2, like they were wheeling him down to shock his heart back into rhythm, and it went into rhythm on its own. And then the second time he was placed in the hospital, he did indeed have to be shocked back into rhythm. So he had an AFib episode. It was a really bad one. He looked like death. Like, he really did. It just takes a toll on his body. He gets out of breath from getting up and going to pee. Like, his heart like beats so hard and so out of rhythm that you can like see it from across the room. His chest is just banging. It's very scary for him. His dad actually died from heart complications from, what they think is AFib. He doesn't really know, because his dad died when he was really young, but his dad died at 27 from heart complications. So he's like really paranoid and overly like freaked out for good reason. And so his heart was going crazy. I mean, his heart was going crazy. And if you've never heard of AFib, it's when your heart like it gets off rhythm and off track, and it won't beat correctly in a correct rhythm. It won't do it. And so it's like, whereas your heart's like ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. His is like ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, boom, boom, ba-ba-ba-boom, boom, ba-boom. Like a freaking song or something. It's insane. It's awful. And then it'll be like boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, boom, 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 boom. Like, it just, why I'm making different notes for the beats, I don't know, but that's what it does. And it's insane and horrible and scary. And for him, like, he gets out of breath. He gets really dizzy. He gets weak, and he feels like he's dying. Like, it feels horrible. He was in AFib for 3.5 days. He was working during being in AFib. He was terrified to go back to the hospital because he was scared they were going to admit him, and him being trapped in a hospital room alone while I'm here with the kids is like terrifying to him, because he just feels trapped, and that makes him feel worse, and then he's more anxious. Like, it's just bleh, no thank you. So I would rather just figure it out on my own. We tried everything. We tried all the tricks that you can like shock your heart back into rhythm, like being terrified, or he took an ice bath and like just submerged himself into ice water. Didn't help. Put his head into ice water, trying to like shock his heart back into sync. Didn't work. Went through so much torture. Like, it wasn't working. Like, nothing was working. And so he just went back to work and like worked himself to where he felt like his heart was about to burst out of his chest, and then like putting so much strain on it, it went back into rhythm finally. But that was after like days of just misery. So that happened. Then, we've been trying to save money because we have to quickly come up with this large amount that we thought we would have months to prepare for. Now we do not. And then Joshua's truck from work, his work truck that he owns, it blew a head gasket, and it's going to cost $4,000 to repair it. So that's $4,000 that's directly taken out of his check. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. So that's been happening. That's made it very difficult in an already slow season to make a living, much less make extra to save, to pay, to move out and get a transmission fix and all of the things. So those are stresses, right? Everybody has them. Everybody goes through financial stresses of one or another. Maybe yours are big, maybe yours are small, but everybody has them sometimes. These are ours. Like, what the heck? Okay, well, that's fine. Let's just keep on rolling. Well, then we get a letter in the mail that our finances are up for review so that we can have an increase in child support, that we can pay an increase in child support for Jaren. Are you flipping kidding? Okay, well, there's one more thing. Like, now we had this amount of time before the federal deadline to get our taxes turned in. Well, now that has been amped up, and now we have to do it now. And because he's self-employed, like, taxes are a little bit more expensive for him. So there's another expense, okay? Then what else happened? There was something rather large that happened as well. I don't even remember what it was. Then yesterday he goes to work, and in the morning, when he goes to work, he finds out that all of his tools from his work truck have been stolen. Somebody stole them and smashed the cameras, so they don't know who it was. So it was probably an employee, right? Because they knew where the cameras were. They smashed them, took the SD card out, and then they stole tools from all the guys' truck. Like 4 people, I think, were targeted, and 4 people got all their tools stolen out of it. Which is so weird to me because hand tools are not even worth, like, what are you going to do with them? I don't even understand. But they got all their tools stolen. So every tool that he had bought, about $1,000 worth of tools that he has to have for work were stolen. Well, he has to replace them, like, today because he can't work without them. Like, he has to have them for every job. So there's another thing. Okay, fun. So then, last night, we had went to my parents' house and came home, and I'll put all the boys to bed, and he was just feeling off. Like, I could tell something was going on. He was asking me to listen to his heartbeat, like, while we were at my parents', and then when we got home, and he was just acting really funny, and I was like, what is going on with you? Like, your heart is in rhythm. It's fine. And he was like, I'm just not feeling well. And he started trying to like lay down and get ready for bed and go to sleep, and he just couldn't. He got up, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm going to go outside for a second. And then he came back and he was like, I think I'm going to have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, why? And he's like, my chest just feels so tight, and I can't, like, it's tight and tight and tight, and I can't breathe, and I'm lightheaded, and I feel dizzy. And he was like, and pain is just like shooting from my chest down my left arm, and it's like creeping up my neck, and it's just really scaring me. Like, it won't go away. I can't get it to calm down. And so I think I need to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay, go to the hospital. Like, let me know what's going on. At this point, it's like 11:30 at night. And he goes to the ER, and he was in the ER all night. And, it wasn't serious, but his blood pressure was like really high. Not like he has went to the hospital many a time where they're like, your blood pressure is like, why are you not dead? You have to stay here. It wasn't that high. I can't remember the numbers, but it was significantly higher than it's supposed to be. And he has high blood pressure, which it contributes to AFib episodes. And they said that because he had an episode so soon, he just had one recently, that it probably is contributing to like side effects of that. Now that his heart has gone back into rhythm, but his blood pressure is still elevated. It's just he's having some side effects of that, and we've got to get his blood pressure to go back down. It's just, and stress. Like, stress is the reason for it. Like, I am a great dealer with stress. He is not a great dealer with stress. And because he's not a great dealer with stress, I am more stressed because he's not a good dealer with stress. And so then I'm trying to be there for him, but also process things myself. It's just, ugh. And so those are the things that have been going on. I know it's like a long list of things, right? Like, I feel like there's more that I'm not telling you, but those are the things. And so now the house is going on the market. They're coming to take pictures on Monday. So my house has to be picture perfect by Monday. They want me to like stage things and move things out of the way for them to take pictures and do all of these things. Like, we can't be in the house when they're doing this. We have to be out of the house. So I have to figure out like somewhere for us to go. We don't have anywhere to go. I have to figure that out. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I have no idea what's going to go on. I don't know what's going to happen, how we're going to deal with it, how we're going to do it. I have absolutely no idea. I have no clue what's going to happen. It's crazy town, and it's a lot to process. I don't know how I'm going to keep my house picture perfect. We've been trying to like pack up everything we don't use, everything that we don't need, so that we can kind of clear the house, and it's not as hard for us to like keep it all contained. But it's really difficult to do that. Like, we don't have anywhere to put all of the boxes. Our garage only holds so much. It's full of gym equipment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. And so we're trying to process all of these things. I don't want you to think that I have abandoned you. I don't want you to think that I'm like doom and gloom, and I've just not been in the greatest headspace, because it feels like you get knocked down and then you pull up to your knees and you just get knocked down again. And that's kind of what it's felt like for me and for us. This whole year has just been insane, and it's only March the 1st, and it's just, it's a lot, and it's been a lot to process. And yeah, I just want things to be brighter. I want things to be better. And, you know, it's the thing, like, when it rains, it pours. It's always darkest before the dawn. Like, there's reasons for these cliches, right? Like, they didn't just come out of nothing. There's reasons for them. It's because other people have gone through the same kinds of things, and that's okay. Like, we can deal with it, but it's not easy. And all of these things are big things, like monumentous things that are just, you know, stressful. One of them would be stressful for a family, right? But going through them over and over again, one after the other, is like, wow, this is a lot. And I kind of wish it would slow down a little bit so I can breathe for just 1 second before another one comes. But we are looking forward to moving into a new home. We have a couple in mind. You know, we're just waiting for that season to pick up so that we can pay for all of the prices that are happening right now. And so we're trying to get this house ready. I mean, we don't want to be difficult for our landlords. We have lived here for almost 5 years. We've always had a good relationship, but I just don't think that they understand the magnitude of what they're asking of us. I really don't think they understand. Like, surely they don't understand, because if they understood, they wouldn't be asking these things. I wish that they would wait until after we moved out. It's only a month away, and so I don't understand why that can't happen, but apparently it can't. So we're just trying to do the best we can and be as positive as possible and as cooperative as possible so that it can go smoothly. We don't want a bad memory of this place. We don't want it to leave a bad taste in our mouth, because we've brought 2 children home from the hospital here. Killian was a baby when we moved here, and Tristan was only a toddler. So this is like the only home that my children know, and we don't want to like taint that with bad vibes on our way out the door. You know what I mean? So we're trying really hard to be cooperative and happy and sweet, and just kind of deal with things as they come. But, you know, it's not an easy thing. It's really not. And so anyway, I just wanted to very lengthily let you know what's been going on with us, let you know what's happening, let you know why I haven't been on here, what's been keeping me away. I'm going to try to bring you along on the moving process and the selling of this house, like as we're leaving, like all the things that are happening and the events going on. I want to bring you along, so I thought that it was necessary to explain to you kind of the situation, so that when I bring you along, you're not like, what the heck is going on? This is a weirdo situation. It is actually a very strange situation, and it sucks, but We're going to make the best of it, and we're going to do the dang thing, because that's what we do. That's what Johnsons do, and that's what we're going to do. So I am going to have, like, as you can imagine, a very long list of things to accomplish. I'm working on a journal for my very dear friend that I hope that she loves. I'm making tons of progress on that today. That's my goal today, is that. And then later on this week and this weekend, I'm going to be very mad dashingly cleaning and scrubbing and doing all the things to get things picture perfect ready, and try to pretend that we don't exist in this house and everything looks great. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to do my darndest, and we're going to get it done. And like I said, I hope to take you along with as much of the process as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you, your comments, your likes, your text messages, your Facebook messages, your Instagram messages, your emails, your all the things that you do to let me know that you are thinking about me and my family. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.